It's the holidays, gamers, and in honor of that, I want to talk about one of my favorite things I've ever seen in Super Smash Bros. Rally Round. It's story time. There was once a set in Super Smash Bros. Melee. No, not a set, a grudge match. That, for those who witnessed it, may well have defined its era. During a transitional time for the game, in the late hours of a massive event, two individuals representing vastly different identities and regions of the Melee community came together to say, hey, I'm better than you at this children's party game, in what may have been Super Smash Bros. Melee's saltiest sweet. I am, of course, talking about Magi versus Malachi. In July 2021, two players would collide in what would prove to be one of the game's saltiest sweets of all time. These players would first meet in regional crews at Rollback Rumble, the big one.
It was some combination of things, and it ended up with me and Mog 4 stocks to 4. I remember that.
Falco main Magi was, at this point, one of the game's birds to watch.
Magi with an insane offset! It's not an ice climber!
Against her stood Mog, a player who was an adherent to one simple rule: never stop doing what your opponent hates.
The more disgusting that I could make you feel with my Peach, the more disgusted I could make you feel with my playstyle, the more accomplished I would feel for whatever reason.
The way I describe him is like, it's like he vomits on his controller and your controller, and he asks you to clean it up.
In the Big One's regional crew battle competition, teams of players representing different North American Melee regions faced off in a single elimination bracket, and MDVA, representing the Maryland and Virginia regions, faced off against a team representing the southeastern United States. This crew battle started strong for MDVA, with rising Pikachu player Swift taking 5 stocks off of the Southeast team. However, Team Southeast slowly clawed things back. When Southeast team captain Magi was put in as a counter to MDVA Falco Bones, she took an unanswered stock that would tie up the teams in stock count. Mog, a player who now goes by the tag Malachi, was chosen by Team MDVA to counter Magi on Fountain of Dreams, a stage that traditionally is said to favor floaty characters like Peach.
So we play the crew battle, and like, I think I went into it very arrogantly.
Magi made a strong start, putting plenty of damage on Malachi, but failing to take his first stock. Eventually, he would take the first stock of the game, but she quickly answered back before taking any damage herself. This pattern would persist for the next stock, and from an outsider's perspective, the two were neck and neck, until one combo for the Peach player would change the rest of the game.
I'm loving, though, how Mog is playing. That's the one thing. Oh my god!
Malachi now had a lead, and he would not lose another stock.
That was a lot of percent, JD.
By the end of the game, Malachi had thrown Magi off stage with Peach's forward throw, and caught the Falco player with a lucky Stitch-Face turnip, killing the bird instantly. In what was clearly a taunt, he then pulled out Toad.
If it's a good Falco and we're going back and forth, but like I pull a nice little combo or I get a nice little game or stock or set or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna be feeling myself, and when I'm feeling myself, I feel like I like to have, like let my swing, you know what I'm saying, for lack of a better term. But people know what it means too. There's no reason for me to be toting there. They know it's like,
This single game would turn the tide of the crew battle.
Basically, I got beat, and it was like, damn. And then we just actually, like, slowly over the crew battle just lost more and more stock. So they fucked us up. And then Mog went on Twitter.
Oh, did I win?
He made the tweet basically like, I fucked up Magi. I saw that and like my eyes went red. Like, what do you match me like your entire bank account right now? Like, I don't care about anything that's going on in your life. I want to play now. We had an exchange going on. We were setting up the terms. And then like near the end of it, he was like, no, actually, I can't do the money match right now. I gotta go. I have to have. I need to wait until my weed man gets me my shit. And I was like, what?
Nah, if we're gonna do high stakes, then let's play tomorrow.
Bro! We had to wait until he got more weed, and then it just so happened because, like, of course, this is all related to the Rollback Rumble, that Brandon was like, all right, we can do the money match after this day of the tournament.
The terms were set. The two players were to play that night at 10 p.m. Pacific in a 1-to-5 money match for $50, and it would all go down on the Big One's official BTS stream. So what made this such a hot rivalry? In order to understand that, we're going to need to talk about falco-peach. This may not be the most discussed matchup in Melee, but it might be one of its most volatile.
This matchup could be anywhere between 55-45 Peach and 55-45 Falco. So even-ish. It's hard to say. If I would have to give one character the edge, I think Falco would have a slight edge. As a Peach player, when it comes to like great characters, this is like one of your few matchups that's like, yeah, if you complain about the Falco matchup, then you better switch character because it's not really gonna get much better than this.
Today, many people will say that Peach Falco is roughly even, with Falco being somewhat favored, but in practice, it's a matchup that many Falco players will struggle with. Being a fast faller, Falco is one of Melee's easiest characters to combo, while the floaty Peach is known for her ability to tank hits and counter hit, whether through crouch cancels or through quick aerials out of hit stun.
The Falco-Peach matchup is bullshit. Falco wins neutral. The only problem is Falco has to win neutral like 5 or 6 times, and Peach should only have to win neutral like 2 times.
Falco's laser is Melee's best projectile and a great tool in all of his matchups, but in this one, Peach has her own counterplay.
Peach have one of the unique traits of dealing with Falco's laser better than probably any character, actually.
The perfect float Peach has that's right above Falco laser. The way that Peach can do that, like, just completely neutralizes, in most neutral situations, Falco's strongest neutral tool that, like, he really needs. Like, he's way too slow to, like, function without laser.
The other thing is, you just get edge guarded so hard. Falco just dies so hard.
So the objective for Falco in that matchup is to mostly keep Peach away. And the way that Mog plays, like he's high spec to, like, if you're close to him, he's going to vomit all of his like moves onto you, and some of them are going to hit, and he's really good off of killing, like, off of those hits.
Much of Malachi's renown at this point had come from being especially good versus fast fallers, often infuriating these players with his down smash heavy approach to the character.
I don't know. I love Falco. It's my favorite matchup in the game. I don't know how much you know about me and Bobby, but we go way back. Obviously, me and Ginger have our thing. He does not like me. I think it's hilarious.
Magi seem to share these circumstances, often performing much better versus fast fallers than versus floaties.
Go. I've never seen that pillar so many times. Don't finish it. All right, that's fine. That's fine.
For a very long time, I have definitely struggled against floaties. I am heavily spec'd to play against Fox. In Louisiana, we're actually a very spacey heavy region. Like, we have a lot of Foxes, a lot of Falcos. We have some Marths and some Sheiks, but floaties have always been absent for the most part. You're supposed to play very disciplined against floaties. Very disciplined, which is not something that I've ever really worked on.
I think Eddie just missed his match there entirely.
That's it.
I've only really worked on being faster, being cleaner, and, you know, like, you can get away with playing irresponsibly for a very long time, but eventually it will come out to get you.
Magi may not have had many floaties in our region, but she knew the pain of losing to one on the big stage all too well. In 2019, Magi had handed Melee Boomer Hugs perhaps the final tournament victory in Melee of his career at DreamHack Dallas 2019. The two would play 2 sets, the final one being in grand finals of the tournament. And across both of these sets, Magi would only take a single game.
What is the crowd heckling him?
They might be sassing him a little bit.
I think the crowd's heckling him.
Right.
Louisiana's probably booing or something.
It was an experience that neither player would forget.
He still talks about fucking DreamHack Dallas, dude. He still talks about it. It's so bullshit. If there's any fucking money match I want to do after this fucking video, it's me versus fucking Hugs. Fucking old fuck.
If Magi was to avoid a repeat of the DreamHack Dallas situation, she would need to convincingly win this money match.
We play the set.
Right now, Magi's getting smoked.
And I get really badly beaten.
The money match actually started with both players on pretty even footing. Malachi took game 1 on Battlefield, but for a while the two were neck and neck, trading games. Magi won on Yoshi's story in game 2, a stage where Falco's ability to kill Peach off the top is greatly enhanced. And then in game 3, Malachi won on Final Destination, a stage where Peach's chain grab can melt fast faller stocks. Eventually, however, momentum shifted permanently into Malachi's hands. Magi would take game 4 on her counterpick of Pokemon Stadium. It would be her last game win of the set.
All right, so it's 2-2. This is a back and forth set.
Going into that matchup, if you're playing frustrated and you're trying to like scrap with Peach, like you're absolutely going to get beat. Whenever she gets an opening, she's probably going to get a lot of damage. Whereas with Falco, like he might get some damage at specific percents on specific DIs, but it's really difficult for him.
In my own hands. Okay, wait a minute. Up air. Okay, again. Oh, he tried to get fancy. Oh, come on, bruh.
If you're playing that matchup in a frustrated way, in a tilted way, or otherwise, like you're essentially playing neutral for them if you approach like too like aggressively, or like you try to stay too close to them.
Maga's, ooh. Mag got Magi looking regular out here. Oh my goodness. Up a stock on Yoshi's?
Malachi would take the final 2 games with a salty sweet on Yoshi's story. While these games were competitive, they made for a 5-2 victory for the Peach player.
I basically didn't know what I was doing. I bit off more than I could chew, and I got fucked up. And I was like, okay, well, there's only one thing left to do. So I was like, let's do another one. Like, please.
Magi said, I'll run it back. 150 to your 50.
And I was like, okay, like as much as I'm like throwing, like I think I recognize what's happening. I think I could do better in the second set. And then he says no.
He said GG's. He said tomorrow. I'm tired tonight.
When someone says no to a money match, there's only one thing left to do, and it's to give them odds. You just need to make it to where they can't say no.
Finally, with new odds in place, Malachi agreed to play a second money match.
And it's like gambling, right? It's like, holy shit, I just fucked her up. I'm on Twitter, I feel great, and then like she wants to go again, and I'm feeling confident. Like I wanted to back out, but it's like after everyone's like, you have to. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna do what I do again. Like feel even better when I do it. It was more honestly just the pride. 100, like 90+% the pride.
It would be another 1-to-5 match with triple or nothing odds. If Malachi won, he would get 150, while if Magi won, the two would be even.
Everyone was like, oh shit, you know, we're doing this again.
Alright, Magi, if you lose this, you actually just have to hold that. I think it's safe to say Mog just might Mog might got your he might got your number. He might.
So then we play the second set.
Sean? Oh, I would have jumped up there, Sean. I'm not gonna lie. Up there, oh, she misses. Okay. Okay.
I don't really remember a lot of the details of the match.
We don't get enough of it. It's too much of, you know, hey, how's it going? And what do you think Mog should do? I don't know.
I just had to be like, okay, dude, it's fucking Mog. I can fucking beat Mog in a second set. Like, I don't care how much money I have to put up. Like, my vision was red. Like, I'm just like, whatever. I'll run it 150 to 50. I don't give a shit. 3-1. Like, let's run it right now.
Okay, Bob.
In the first set, Malachi was able to hold momentum right off the bat by winning game 1. If Magi could win this first game, she could potentially hold on to counterpick advantage for the rest of the set.
Money match. Oh, side B. Oh yeah, that's a dead bird. That's a dead bird.
Both players were now on their last stock. Both were at low percent. It was anyone's game.
Oh, I don't even know what kind of bird is Falco. I forgot. Okay. Oh. Okay, Magi, get in there. Redeem yourself. Redeem yourself.
I do remember that I won 5-3, I want to say.
You already know where we're going. You already know where we're going. Oh. Okay. Yo. Magi looking different now. Oh no.
I found the stats. Oh, I won the second set 5-1. Oh, he got owned.
Mog is down 2-0. Yeah, he's looking super down bad.
I just wanted to keep the adrenaline and the rush and the excitement going because, again, bro, this is for fun and that shit's fun to me. So like, why be square about shit, you know? And after I lost, definitely bittersweet, kind of like almost hollow. As I don't want to seem like dark or existential because it's like again, it's just fun. But like it's like more like, god damn it, like you took my fun. Like I still had a lot of fun, but like like the optimal amount of fun that I could have had, you've now fucked that up.
Once Falco has control, then it's like that matchup is like a lot more of like, damn, like Peach can't like get out of her shield, she can't get in on Falco, she can't chase him. Like it's a very, very different feel.
Time over.
Oh, he should have died right there. Oh no, stop rolling, my guy. Oh no.
After losing 4 straight games to Magi, Malachi would finally take his first game of the second set on Fountain of Dreams, the same stage where he had bested her earlier that day in the crew battle. This would be the only game he would take in this entire set.
Here we go. It's last stock. Oh. Oh. Oh, nah. Oh, if he won the game, like, okay. There you have it. That was a weird ending.
Sometimes I feel bad thinking about it. It's like, man, like I really did corner him and like kind of put him into a spot where he had no choice, which is kind of fucked up. But at the same time, get fucked, idiot. Like, get fucked, fucking 150 to 50. You better fucking say yes, and you got fucked up, bitch.
This should be where the story ends. But despite Magi taking the run back, the score had not yet been settled. Magi had won the second set, but the two players were still 7-7 for the day. In an attempt to finally settle the score, Malachi called for one more run back.
If you give me like the reward of getting a run back, I must give it back. So I was down.
We are back with more salty run backs.
This was it, the final salty sweep, and yet again it would begin on Battlefield. Due to time restrictions, this would be a best-of-5 match, and the first player to win 3 games would win this set. Whoever would win this first game could hold a counterpick advantage for the rest of the match. A little bit of money and a lot of pride was on the line.
And I smoked it. I mean, hey, you had
Battlefield game was neck and neck, until one technical flub would end the game for Magi. Getting hit by the fixed knockback of Peach's reverse up B, Magi found herself off stage without a double jump.
Magi just forgot where her hands were.
If Magi was going to win this set, she was going to have to do so on at least one of Malachi's counterpicks.
Oh, can he play? Oh no. He hit the cannot play stick. Oh. Oh, it's a waiting for game. You love to see it. Game 5 scenario. Someone is logging off. I want to say going home so bad. Someone is logging off with the bag, and the other one is going to log off raging, mad, and you know what? Fuck your feelings, because you lost. You can hold that.
After 18 competitive games played over the course of 2 days, it all came down to this. With Malachi having counter pick advantage, he took Magi for the final game of the final Salty Sweet, back to Fountain of Dreams.
In the Rex village, a dark world with street soldiers, thugs and gangbangers. Just like we showed you that last part of your life, but now it's changed to the newer era. Sick, even more colder than whatever. Yo, it's time I moved on. I booked my title up. Everybody got to beat it. It's time you hung it up. Optional. The level you on, you better settle. This would have been the closest you got to the medal. If you plan to start from scratch, you gotta fight your way up. It's all about the victory and who's getting ate up. Survivors are always labeled the fittest. That's why you couldn't win this. I'm the living legend, veteran in this. My first priority got dealt with successfully. Nothing more to prove in my corner, no more testing me. I finished all my missions, you tell me who the best could be. Capcom and Lockdown, Infinite Street Fighter 3. I moved on, now my life is much better. On to bigger things, but we hustle forever. We cut your life short, plus you thought you was clever. It's all about the family, we stay silent forever. Yo, I moved on, now my life is much better. Now we on some bigger things, but we hustle forever. We cut your life short, plus you thought you was clever. It's all about the family, we stay silent forever.
She is not letting him get no chances. Like, look, I need to win this. Oh, the power shield. Oh, he knew. That was fire, Mom. Oh, you gotta get that edge guard, though. What Armada do? Oh, okay. Oh, it's a taunt. You can hold that. Oh, yo, that was fire. And Magi takes it 3-2.
Magi had done it. The money, the pride, the Twitch subs. It was all hers. But over the course of these games, something somewhere changed. The salt that had started this whole thing, the salt that had resulted in over a dozen games of heated rivalry, seemingly had changed form. It was something almost bittersweet. Whether because of their regions, their playstyles, their characters, or their attitudes, these two players had been sent on a collision course. But by the end of it, they had found something resembling respect.
Do you play like that many money matches like at a 1-to-5 format, like against someone? Like I think there's just like a certain like mutual respect, like hey, or even just like a mutual experience that we had together. It's like hey, like what's up? Like that was a good game. I really appreciate like you know the opportunity to run it back. You know you're sick, blah blah blah. He's not sick, but.
All the respect that I have for Magi, like people, you know, she knows me, and so do a lot of people in this community. Like I'm a shitter, and it's like, and it's not like who I actually am. It's like you know kind of how Wife said in the Smash doc.
In the documentary, Wife talks about how the Smash community is kind of a place that we get to go to where, you know, you get to take on this new persona almost, or like you get to be. I don't necessarily agree 100% with this, but basically, you get to like embody this thing that's like separate from like society. You don't have to be super nice. Like you can be like a little crude.
You can't be talking on Twitter if you ain't playing today. You scared?
Yeah, so it's just like I don't know. For me, it's entertaining, right? It's like it's a way to keep things like interesting and not too esports. Like it's great. Like the more exposure and the more support and funding we can get, this community can get awesome. And if it requires us to act a little more, you know, rigid or whatever, so be it. But at the same time, I also just like I don't want it to get too far. I don't want us to forget where we come from and like how grassroots of the community this is. You know what I'm saying?
Mango's playing fucking amazing.
I really don't see Taz beating him. A pocket controller, dog. A pocket controller.
Like you can be a little like abrasive when it comes to like the game, and it's nice that, especially when we get to step out of that after we're done with the set, after we're done with everything, like we get to step outside of that and be like, all right, anyway, that was really fun. Like, anyways, like let's go hang out and go get some dinner or something, you know.
You just got up smash. Oh, happy feet. Wombo combo. That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco.
Get your ass whooped.
I wish that things were still like that, I guess, where, you know, you would see more of like, it was a money match and it was definitely like a big ego thing, but it wasn't like drama related. It was just like, man, like go fuck yourself. Like I'll fuck you up in melee. At the end of the day, like a lot of, especially the experienced people, like, you know, they've been doing this for such a long time. I've been doing this for such a long time that sometimes it's hard to like find the motivation to like, you know, get petty with someone over one little thing. I do miss it, and I was very happy to experience that again in that set. I'm just happy with how it all played out, I guess, and I hope Mog is too, despite getting fucked up.
There are a lot of dope things about Magi that like makes me a fan, you know what I'm saying? So like, regardless win or losses, I have mad respect for her, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we were like off stream, like, you know, like in her DMs and shit, like talking about, you know, like about that and the respect that we have for one another.
I don't think about it too often, but I always think about it with fond memories, because I think it was like me and Mog, like definitely we're not like very close friends or anything, but you know, when we see each other at tournaments, we always say hi and stuff. And it's very funny, and I think it was also very representative of like who I am. Like I'm very much someone who has a very like competitive instinct, and who gets herself into really dumb situations and will do some really dumb things to get her out of it, but at the end I could still prevail despite all of the mental adversity that comes with playing against the messenger of God.
Everyone says you're on Mount Rushmore, without a doubt.
It's fucking wild, though.
No, how wild?
To me it is. Like, you know how like you know how you perceive yourself versus like for example, the things I would tell myself, I would never say to any of you, right? You know, because it's just like that would just be me. That would be cool.
Definitely me.
But we all tend to do that to ourselves. You're your harshest critic. Self-sabotage, I guess. I'm just a dude that just, you know, I just be pressing buttons. Well, now I talk about people pressing buttons, but
yeah.
Weighing in at 165 pounds, at 5'7", the DreamHack Dallas 2019 World Champion, Dignitas Hunks.
Kicking the man when he's down, like I beat Mango, I'm the favorite. If he chokes as hard as I'm out of ghosts, I'll just wait till he's a host.